think there's a lot of 14-year-old basketball players right now who can say they have Division I offers. Well, today's guest can. She's a top 10 point guard in the class of 2029. Welcome, Jordan Brown, to the Fumble. Jordan, thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thank you for having me.
Jordan, man, to hear the year 2029 sounds crazy. Back in my day, when I envisioned 2029, we had like flying cars and stuff, and you're about to go to college in that year. I'm just over here like, wow, I'm old. But also when I grew up, I played AAU basketball, right? Like hooping was a way of life. But I think the thing that AAU did for my age group was it really made us want to compete with our peers. It feels like that culture has shifted a little bit. So my question for you is, do you prefer to keep it more competitive with your peers or more cool?
I love to keep it more competitive with my peers. I've always been a super competitive person, even if it's, playing with my family, friends, my opponents. And so whenever I'm playing, I'm just playing to win.
Okay, so we're not training with nobody else.
We are, but I like to, compete against them, make them get better, and then it makes me get better as well. So
Like I just mentioned, Jordan, you have Division I offers, plural. What was your reaction to getting the first one so young?
I was super excited, knowing all the hard work and time I put in the gym is just paying off. My goal by the end of the summer was to have a few D1 offers. And so just getting that phone call was super exciting, but also made me hungry to go back in the gym and get more.
Okay. Well, as you begin to sift through those offers, and obviously right now we're so far away from making a decision, what are some things that you think you're going to need out of a college before you commit to it?
I really want to major in law. So I feel like on the educational side, them having a good major that I want to major in. And then also just a supportive coaching staff, a coaching staff that checks up on me, making sure I'm good, and then checking my progress throughout, high school season.
Okay. Real quick, because obviously, NIL is a really big deal. So we also want to be able to put a little chicken in the pocket before we arrive on campus. Is that something that you'll be considering as well? Like who can also get me a sizable amount of money to start my life?
For sure.
Cut the check. Cut the check.
Like we were just joking, 2029 is crazy, but you're already on several watch lists. Like, what is the process like to even get your name out there? Because I know there are like probably 1 million kids right now that are playing basketball.
It's hard work for me, honestly. I've always been a hard worker. And so just knowing that work has translated into games, and now I'm performing for not for when it matters the most, and just going out there playing my best game, and then I'm getting my name out there.
A lot of kids back in the day wanted to play like Mike. Then they wanted to play like Kobe. Some wanted to play like Bron and Steph. Who do you model your game after?
I model my game after Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. His game is like really smooth. I was just introduced to his game this past year. My dad just introduced me to it, but I've been watching him constantly. And I feel like he is somebody that I want to resemble my game after, and I'm going to keep continuing to watch as I get older.
What are your favorite parts of his game?
Just the way he has so much versatility and he could do so many things. And I feel like that's something that I would be able to do.
All right, well, don't be foul baiting. Be at the free throw line. You'd be like,
I saw that you didn't start playing basketball until you were like 9 years old, which is kind of crazy because I'm sure most of your peers probably started playing at like 4 and 5 before they could probably even hold the ball good. Like kind of walk us through like your introduction to the game and what about it really made you fall in love with it?
Well, at a young age, I started playing tennis because my older sister and my mother, and
I love tennis. Sorry, I got excited. I'm a tennis junkie. Look at my tennis balls.
My dad introduced me to basketball, and I just fell in love with basketball more because like the aggression, the energy, the competition. I just felt it was more interesting to me, and so I was just outside working with my dad every single day, and he made me really fall in love with the game because he played Division I basketball as well. And I really wanted to get to a point where I would be able to get to that level. And so him just supporting me and me keeping my head down and keep working.
You've used a couple of words that normally I identify with as somebody from the East Coast, right? You use competitiveness, you used physicality, aggression. Aggression was the real word that stood out. So on the East Coast, that is the style of basketball that we generally play. I live in LA, and so I know that California basketball is very different than East Coast basketball. Have you had a chance to play teams from other regions yet, whether the Midwest or East Coast or even down South? And how would you compare the playing style from California?
I have had the opportunity to play teams from every coast, actually. Everyone's super talented. For me, I wouldn't say there's a difference between East Coast and West Coast. I would say they're both super talented, and all players are very good, and all teams as well.
Well, that was nice.
That was nice. But who has the edge though, Jordan? Like you think it's the West Coast?
I would say a little bit for me. I'm also a little biased because I'm from the West Coast as well, but for me, West Coast a little bit.
You know why it's a cheat code to be from the West Coast, Samaria? And Jordan probably knows this because all of the like retired elite athletes who have money move to California.
Yeah. NBA players I know that moved down to LA, and a lot of friends I have that are, NBA players' daughters. So that is very true.
It's a thing out here.
Can you name drop a little bit? I don't know.
I know like a couple of them. I know Gilbert Arenas' daughter.
She cold.
Okay.
She cold.
I know Chris Paul's son and daughter because my younger team has played his daughter, and that's pretty much it.
I coach at their school. That's ironic.
Okay.
I coach at Campbell Hall basketball because I'm nice. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later.
What was y'all record last year?
I coach the B team, and we can be better going forward. Stick to it.
Okay, Jordan, I want to ask you about having like a personal brand. Like when Rodney and I was growing up, we didn't have social media. Like obviously that is so important, especially as you start to get more and more offers. Like what advice would you give some of the younger players who are kind of navigating like having a brand, having this presence on social media, and why that's so important right now?
Although social media is super, super important, I would say for younger kids especially, don't focus on so much on social media and comparing yourself to other players. I feel like the time you put in the gym and how you perform in games, that the social media will come. And so just keep working. And obviously social media is super important. Then you have to get yourself out there eventually and brand yourself once you start to get older. So I would tell younger players to not really focus on so much of the social media part.
Yeah, get in that gym, get your work in. You know what? Which brings me to a really important question. For you, what is more important, training or playing actual games?
That's a good question. I feel like playing games is more important for me. I feel like it's way different. Energy's way higher. And playing games is when it matters the most. You got to show up and show out when it matters. I feel like training, obviously the way you train reflects how you play in games. But to me, I just love playing games. I just feel like it helps get your name out there and things like that.
Yeah, there's some kids who will train, right? And they'll train and do all of this cone work and so on and so forth. They get on an actual basketball court and they're like, but this person won't get out of my way. It's like, yeah, this is an actual human being who has like a reaction and a response to what you're doing. And I just got to let you go by them and do a curl cross tween pull-up. Like it's just not working like that.
Jordan, you are young, but you have been able to witness this growth and rise in women's basketball. Everybody is just loving it right now. I guess like how inspiring is it for you to kind of know like it's big now, but it's probably going to just continue to get bigger, especially when you go through college and then you want to play in the W?
It's super inspiring. I watch the W all the time. And so just watching them play and it's super exciting, and knowing that it's going to be even better when I get there, it's just making me want to work harder and get better.
Who's your favorite team in the W?
I would say the LA Sparks, just because Rakia Jackson, I love her game.
Yes, I love her.
There's been a lot of conversation around the officiating in the WNBA. Do you have any thoughts on whether or not the referees in the WNBA need some new glasses, some new eyeballs?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Do you think the game is too physical, that they need to kind of police it a little bit to allow just more free-flowing basketball to be played?
Yeah, it's super physical. But obviously, they have to call fouls when like needed, but they should just let them play a little bit, make it a little more fun.
If you could pick one WNBA player to be your teammate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who you rocking with?
I would say Caitlin Clark, obviously. Plays with so much energy, and her game is just great. And I would just love to play with a player that has that much aggression, energy, passion for the game.
What do you make of the rivalry between Caitlin and Angel? Do you feel like it's good? Do you feel like sometimes it gets a little overboard? Like, what do you think?
Is it overblown? We talk about it too much.
Yeah, I think it's a little overblown, honestly. I feel like people should just let them play basketball. People just start worrying about them too much, and they should just let them play. And I don't really think there's much of a rivalry between them. I feel like, you know, they've set that standard that like there's no rivalry, but you know, I feel like people should just stop worrying about them and just let them play their game.
Got you. And who is your GOAT on the men's and women's side?
My GOAT on the men's side is Michael Jordan. And
whoa,
yes.
What you know about MJ?
And my GOAT on the women's side is Cheryl Miller.
Oh,
I like that.
I got to tell you my Cheryl Miller story. Okay. So I live in LA. Like I told you, I was in Ralph's and I was shopping in the pasta and sauce aisle. And I saw Cheryl Miller and I froze up and I said, "You're Cheryl Miller." And she said, "I am, baby. Give me a hug." And she gave me the tightest, sweetest hug. And she smelled good. And she said, "Ooh, you strong." And I said, "Cheryl, watch out now." And then I kept going.
Jordan, every time I hear this story, he adds some extra sauce to it.
You got to. That's the markings of a good storyteller, man. And if this is how you're responding to questions at age 14, I mean, the poise, you know, the clarity, you just know what you want to say. You really controlled this thing. I was trying to like, you know, let me throw a little curveball in there, see how she responds and reacts. And that's how I know you were killer on the court, because all of the great basketball players that I know have like, they control the pace, which is of course what you do on and off the court. So congrats to you. Continued ascension. Keep racking up them D1 offers and get to that money and work on your game, of course.
Thank you so much.